return to Pittsburgh as the Pirates had the trophy out on the field. Paul Alexander, you heard him talk about it. He quite aptly said it. Wow, I think that really much says it all. It is really a spectacular weekend here weather-wise, and the Pirates in turn won the game last night, a thrilling game in fact, and tonight they thrilled the crowd here moments ago.
What a wonderful reception for this championship team by all the people in the stands and the dugouts. There's a lot of fun, but there's also a lot of emotion. These guys did a wonderful, wonderful thing, and they're kidding around, they're telling stories, but deep down in their hearts, they are very, very proud to be out on that field. They're clustered around Chuck Tanner. It gives you goosebumps. This is so, so special, and it's a wonderful night for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the city of Pittsburgh.
It's really good to see the current group of Pittsburgh Pirates see what it's all about. I think that's so important, Steve.
Yeah, you go player by player by player. You realize their accomplishments, what they did to contribute to that championship year. And it's so great that each team, not just the Pirates, they'll bring back their championship players. It means a great deal. It makes you feel like $1 million. And these guys, they had a wonderful year. Willie Stargell kind of at the helm of the ship, but Chuck Tanner, too, the leader of the band. And the wonderful tribute to Stargell along with the other introductions. It was just it's a wonderful night. It makes you feel good about the city of Pittsburgh and our Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right, the Pirates going to try and stay on this roll. They've won 4 in a row for the first time since late June. They'll try to make it 5 in a row and match their season high winning streak. Chuck Tanner and the world champs back in the Burgh. We are back. Chuck Tanner now in the dugout. Of course, Chuck Tanner, number 7, the great number 7, and talking to the current Pirates manager, John Russell, who wears that uniform number 7. The Pirates trying to make it 5 in a row. After defeating the Reds last night 5-2, great start to this homestand, which will continue tomorrow afternoon, and then the world champion Phillies come to PNC Park for a 3-game series starting on Tuesday night. Pirates take the field. We'll check out Dusty Baker's lineup. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Drew Stubbs leads off in center field. Adam Rosales is the third baseman. Then it's Joey Votto. Brandon Phillips returns to the lineup. A sore wrist had him out last night. Leads the Reds with 59 runs and 75 ribbies. Johnny Gomes hits fifth. He's in right field. Vladimir Valentin is the left fielder. Ryan Hannigan catches and hits seventh. Paul Janisch, the shortstop. Justin Lear on the mound. The defense for Pittsburgh behind Zach Duke has Lastings Village in left, Andrew McCutcheon in center, and Garrett Jones in right. Andy LaRoche at third, Luis Cruz at short. Ronnie Cedeno hurt his pinky finger last night. Delwyn Young at second, Steve Pierce at first, and Ryan Doman catches Duke.
Who, by the way, has been just fine. 9-11. He could have a lot more wins. We'll get into that particular subject as we go along, but a 3.42 ERA. So he's been good. 3 complete games for Zach, and in his last 2 starts took the Pirates into the 8th inning, and you love to see that from your starters. The reason the win total is down so far, well, they haven't been getting him very many runs. But, what you have to do is, as you take a look at his numbers against the Reds, good work in 6 career starts. And, last start, a loss to the Cubs, as he pitched very good baseball, 7 1/3 innings, 3 earned runs. So Zach Duke, in spite of just the 9 wins, has been probably as consistent as anybody on this starting rotation. He takes a moment to get his thoughts together, and he'll make his 7th career start against the Cubs. 25th start overall. Did I say Cubs? Reds?
Yes, it's all right. The Reds had a good start against the Reds in 2009, back on May the 1st here at PNC Park, but suffered a tough luck loss, just you're talking about, Steve, against Bronson Arroyo, and we're underway in a strike on Drew Stubbs, playing in his 3rd big league game.
Zach has not picked up a win since it's almost been a month since his last win.
To the shortstop, Luis Cruz. Second pitch, and Stubbs is retired. Let's check out Steve's tips to win, presented by our friends at Rivers Casino.
Well, first of all, get some runs for Zach Duke. He really deserves it. He deserves a lot more offensive support. And I think the matchups for Zach Duke are Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips, because you take a look at the rest of this lineup, and no disrespect, but those are the guys that have the best resumes. If he can match up well against them, then his experience should serve him well. So we'll see how those matchups play out during the course of the ball game.
Rosales takes ball 1.
Just to give you an overview, the last 4 starts since that last win almost a month ago, he's had a total in those 4 starts of 4 runs of support. 4.
And again, Luis Cruz tested. Ronnie Cedeno fractured his pinky finger last night during the game, but they're not going to place him on the disabled list, and they're actually talking as though Cedeno might be able to there you see it's bandaged up, that might be able to return as early as Tuesday to start that Phillies series. Here's the play. Pitcher Micah Owings hits that bounce, and you can see him get that hand in there a bit early. So Luis Cruz gets a rare start rather than Brian Bixler. And again, there you see Ronnie Cedeno. John Russell said that Luis Cruz has earned the start. He's been working hard and has performed well when he has had an opportunity. Talk about a guy who's been performing well, though. It certainly has been Cedeno. And a real pleasant surprise.
He has been.
Oh, wave and a miss.
The big sweeper, the roundhouse curve. Every left-hander in the universe has this pitch. Throws it nicely, and no chance for Joey Votto to reach that one. What do we do as a follow-up? Right back to it. If it ain't broke, fix it till it is.
Yeah. Votto picking up his 60th RBI of the year last night. That came on a ground out in the 3rd inning. The Reds took a 1-0 lead, and the Pirates took it from there.
You like the curve outside, we'll try the curve inside. A little bit more of a dangerous neighborhood. Brandon Phillips. So the back-to-back matchups we were talking about, Duke versus Votto and Phillips. Steady diet of breaking balls for Zach.
These are not your big red machine Reds anymore. Last night, Dusty Baker started 6 rookies.
I was counting up the total major league at bats in that lineup last night. It wasn't a big number.
Man, tonight 4 rookies. Another Tapper foul. Dusty Baker's club has really struggled, and of course they've suffered their fair share and then some of injuries. As many as 7 players currently on the disabled list. Votto himself went on the DL with the anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, and a weakly hit base hit, you'd say. Not smashed into center, but he has himself a 2-out single.
Sturdy at bat. Well, saw a lot of breaking balls and finally got one that he could at least serve into center field. Credit to a batter surviving that barrage of curveballs.
Now Brandon Phillips, their RBI leader, is at the plate. Second baseman.
A bit of a nick last night. He was not in the starting lineup.
Sore left wrist, and he too has spent time on the disabled list this season. Brandon Phillips, and on deck Johnny Gomes. He's a veteran who could also pose a little bit of trouble for Duke. And now the count 2-0 on Brandon Phillips.
2 quick outs and then a lot of work to Joey Votto, and then falls behind. Looks like it's going to be a quick, slick top of the first. Still some work to be done.
Brandon Phillips in his career has 1 hit in 14 at-bats against Zach Duke. That's an .071 batting average. Two and one. Check out the umpiring crew tonight. It's Paul Schreiber behind home plate. At first base, it's Kevin Causey. The crew chief at second is Ed Rapuano, and Mike Estabrook is the umpire at third.
We are now official.
Yep. 2 balls and a strike with Votto at first.
He'll run on occasion, not on a regular basis.
And it's bounced to second, Delwyn Young. On to first. Nothing doing against Duke aside from that 2-out single to center. Pirates come to bat. Score in the top half. And we check out the Pirates lineup brought to you by PNC. Andrew McCutchen will be stepping in a moment. Delwyn Young, and then Garrett Jones. Last dozen games, 326, 3 homers. Andy LaRoche hits cleanup. Then Ryan Domit in the 5th spot. Lastings Millage homered last night. He's in left. Steve Pierce at first. Luis Cruz, the shortstop, and Zach Duke. For the Reds defensively in the outfield, left to right, it's Vladimir Valentin, Drew Stubbs, and Johnny Gomes. Adam Rosales, Paul Janisch on the left side of the infield, Brandon Phillips, Joey Votto on the right side, and Ryan Hannigan catches the veteran Justin Lear.
Yeah, that is not the Big Red Machine. Justin Lear, what an interesting case for this 33-year-old right-hander who has been around all over the place and all of a sudden appears to have figured it out. And this maturity thing for pitchers can be all over the charts. I mean, you get guys that are as good as they're going to be at 19. Other guys it takes longer. This guy seems to be on his way to figuring it out. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He's now 2-0 since being recalled with a 2.42 ERA and a shutout of the Cubs under his belt. And check this out. Was drafted by Detroit, did not sign. Angels did not sign. The A's signed him. He went from the A's to Milwaukee to Seattle to the Reds to the Phillies and now back to the Cincinnati Reds. He's been all over the place. But, you give him credit. He didn't quit. The Pirates have seen him a little bit out of bullpens, just 4 appearances, but in those 4 appearances, he's picked up 2 wins against the Bucks. Out of Orange, California, 33 years old.
2 balls and a strike on Andrew McCutchen. Justin Lear, a catcher at UC Santa Barbara. Actually a battery mate of Barry Zito. And drafted as a catcher in 1998. Did not sign. Transferred to USC and hit .297 as a first baseman. Ball bounced to the shortstop. Yanish throws out McCutchen.
So they put Micah Owens on the disabled list. They bought him up. Second start. A complete game of 9-inning shutout against the Cubs. 4-zip. Simple as that.
On July 31st. I guess that was a relief outing, right, Steve? That game against the Rockies was a relief appearance. 5 innings. Walked 6. So much better in that start against the Cubs.
1 walk in that game. 1 walk in the next game, and then none last time out. A guy like this has been around. He knows he must throw strikes because you know you're not 22 years old. You're not a young phenom anymore at 33. So we talk about the maturation. And, you know the obvious, the sledgehammer extremes. Bob Feller, phenomenal at 19. Sandy Koufax, first 6 years, didn't win any games, or very few.
And he's a hit machine. The hitman is here, Mike Easler.
We'd like watching that.
And Delwyn Young, another hit. Mike Easler was a left-hand hitter. Delwyn Young a switch hitter, but I'm sure the hitman, does like to see going the other way and pitch away and the base hit. Now Garrett Jones.
Take what they give him. Just 1 home run for Lear, given up in his first 4 starts. Very impressive. 2.02 2.42 ERA.
And headed up the middle. He beats that shift. Delwyn Young, little slip perhaps, and he holds on at second. First and second.
Yeah, if you hit the ball hard enough, the shift is not a factor. It's not right at somebody. That would have been your basic 4-6-3 double play. You live by the shift and you die sometimes by the shift. Although that's not terminal, that base hit. That's just a minor illness.
Andy LaRoche would like to kill this baseball, hitting .256 on the year with 6 homers and 43 RBIs. And get to Justin Lear early. Don't give him any ideas that he's going to have one of those starts like he did against the Cubs. 0-1.
A guy this age who's been around, bounced around, he takes nothing for granted. So you're exactly right. You let him get his feet into this game, get settled on the mound, and well, he'll just keep going. He's waited a long time for these chances.
1 ball and 1 strike on Andy LaRoche. Game 2 of the series against the Brewers. Hit cleanup for the first time in his big league career, and if the Pirates keep winning and producing enough runs, he'll stay there for the foreseeable future. And That fooled him. Breaking pitch, called a ball, 2-1. Ryan Domit stung the ball a couple of times last night, didn't he?
He did. He did. I was real proud of Ryan Domit because he's struggling so much, and that's got to be so discouraging to hit the ball like that, come up empty, and then made a dynamite throw to second base in a key part of the ball game to take the Reds out of a potential big inning.
And Andy LaRoche takes away.
It's keeping your head and your mind in the ball game, even though you're very frustrated.
3-1. Andy LaRoche getting on base more frequently over the past week and a half. Ball fouled off. Dan Potash is going to be with us throughout the game. Special interviews from Danny P. Thanks to Paul Alexander for helping host the pregame. And of course, Joe Klemchak, our in-ballpark host. He and Tim Tobacco, the public address announcer, do a great job here at PNC Park. There's Danny P. I think he's in the World Series suite where many of the players and their families have gathered.
By the way, that play that Domit made in the 8th inning, the Pirates won the ball game 5-2, but the Reds had runners at first and third with one out. They were trying to make noise, and that second out, the caught stealing at second, was huge.
Stays 3-2.
And we talk about getting to this young man, this 33-year-old young major league pitcher early is important. So really important now for Andy LaRoche. Make him throw you a strike. Don't help him out any, because you could really muddy the waters around him right now.
Yeah, just ask Teak. Ask Teak. Hit hard past third. Pirates will score first. Jones headed to third, and look out. Andy LaRoche puts on the brakes, and thankfully Brandon Phillips didn't turn around and look right away. Otherwise, Andy LaRoche is out by a mile.
Wow.
But Phillips paid no heed to him, so it's first and third, and the Pirates lead 1-0.
Got away with something there. Just under the glove of Rosales, and no problem for Garrett Jones, who has a lot better speed than a lot of people realize, comfortably into third. But Andy is right now in no man's land between first and second. There he's at the top of your screen. And they could have had him, didn't look around. That's kind of the way that things are going for the Reds right now.
Yeah, 44 ribbies for Andy LaRoche. Now Domit, and they put a shift on Domit now. We talked about this last night, that the Reds, an unusual shift for Domit from the left side. In fact, last night with nobody at third base, of course, they had the third baseman Rosales playing shortstop and Giannis on the right side of second.
Chance to break it open.
Garrett Jones-like shift here against Domit. As we said, hit the ball extremely hard last night. Now, Lear has and prides himself on a really good fake to third, throw to first, just like that. Good athlete. We mentioned a catcher in college.
Mike Fetters type?
Maybe, yeah. Another throw over there. Played first base his senior year at USC, hit .297, and also made 22 appearances on the mound. Went 7-3 with a 4.29 ERA for the Trojans. 1-0 count. And it's 1-1 strike on Domit. Andy LaRoche, the RBI. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO reminds you that you are safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. Ball, 2 strikes. He's not seeing many fastballs these days.
No, well, he was way out in front of a lot of off-speed pitch last night, and that certainly goes right into the book. Mr. Lear and everybody in the Red staff had to be noticing that, so no surprise he sees something off-speed early. Now on the hole, 1-2.
And a tapper toward the plate. Run will score. Domet will beat it out for the RBI. Fairly close. Jones scores. Lear makes the decision to throw to second rather than the plate.
Yep, and I think against the wishes of somebody who was hollering home. Thought I heard it on the
probably Hannigan.
Yep. The crowd, Mike, picked that up. Somebody was hollering home, and Hannigan is the guy who has the plate in front of him, and he's now out talking to Lear. See the frustrated Joey Votto at first base.
You might have just faintly heard somebody yelling home, home. RBI for Domet, 2-0, and now Millage. At least Domet gets the RBI. You call that a productive out, certainly. There goes Domet, up and in, and he is safe. Ryan Domet, a rare steal, his third.
Well, he's trying to find ways to be involved, and that's great. That throw last night, here's a stolen base, gives the Pirates a chance to maybe pick up a cheap run.
A look at Hannigan, who's been tremendous throwing out runners, by the way. I mean, that's
almost got the tag on the back of Ryan Domet's jersey.
Actually surprising that anybody, let alone Domet, would take off with Hannigan behind the plate throwing out runners at a 45% clip, including 7 of his previous 12. Millage singles to center. Domet waved home. Here's the throw. He will score as it's cut off, and it is 3-0.
And that's what we mean when we talk about a cheap run. After everything is settled down, you scored a couple, things are kind of quiet, 2 outs. You don't figure much more is happening. You steal a base, and with a base hit, you steal another run. Not really a cheap run. It's a well-designed run, well-manufactured run. Bad throw from center field, by the way. Nothing on it.
Watch Millage. Lastings Millage. And Domet scores. And Millage, who
Ryan the Racer,
2 for 3 with a home run last night, picks up an RBI.
Now you get Steve Pearce to hit the ball over the fence. You've had a real fine inning.
And Pearce, Steve, it is. Well, there's a fairly close play. We've already mentioned Lear's pickoff move, but you have to figure that Pearce's time at first base, the window. We keep talking about players who have windows of opportunity. Some windows are open wider than others,
and longer than others.
Yeah, and for Pearce, it's already been hinted, if not publicly stated, by Neil Huntington that Jeff Clement, who was acquired in the Mariners deal, is a very likely call-up on September the 1st, and he's going to play. You know that. So Pearce really needs, in the last several days of August, to make an impression. Bouncing ball. Second baseman Phillips throws out Pearce. Pirates send 7 men to the plate. Maybe inspired by the family again. Delwyn Young, Garrett Jones, Andy LaRoche, and Lastings Millage. 3-0 Pittsburgh.
Pirates wearing their white pinstripe jerseys from 1979 with their black pants. And guys, check this out. We'll show you a few of the combinations, but the Pirates wore 18 different combinations between their hat, their jerseys, their pants, and their socks. They could have gone to as many as 72 different combinations. June Shout, who worked in the front office, was in charge of scheduling who would wear what throughout each homestand during that 79 series. That first photo you saw, guys, was Dave Parker in a black top and black bottom. Major League Baseball actually at one point stepped in and said, we don't want to see the all-black stuff at night because it's hard to pick up the players in the jerseys and so forth and so on. So they were constantly juggling these uniforms, and I would think, Steve, it would kind of cause a little bit of a headache for the equipment staff, no?
You got that right, Dan. I'll tell you one thing. But think of the marketing possibilities.
Oh, sure. Oh, for sure. A lot of these guys actually were wearing them, but they said they're too hot. They don't breathe too well. So they've actually dressed. You said it was too hot, huh, Cobra? Couldn't wear the jersey anymore. There's still. But how about the 18 different combinations you wore throughout the season?
Well, that made us unique. You know, we had a unique bunch of guys, and we had uniforms to match our personalities.
Dave Parker, one of the unique personalities. We'll talk to them and a few more of the guys throughout the evening. Guys, we'll send it back up to you.
All right, Dan. Thanks a lot.
And
there could have been 72 combinations of those personalities.
Oh. You're not kidding. Johnny Gomes at the play. I don't know if Phil Garner told you guys the Dave Parker story about the trash can. But if he didn't, maybe we can ask Cobra, ask Danny P to ask Cobra about what he did. I mean, we talk about how nothing was off limits in the 71 clubhouse. Same was true in 79.
Yep, absolutely.
There's a line shot. Oh, nice pick by Delwyn Young. Stayed with it. He continues each and every game to get better over there under the tutelage, of course, of Perry Hill.
Yeah, I've seen infielders back off that play because it's a BB right at him, but he hunkered right down and got the body, put the body in front. In case he doesn't get it clean with the glove, he can knock it down and still have plenty of time to make the play. Good commitment right there, young man.
I'll tell you, Delwyn Young is a guy you can absolutely tell. Commitment is a great word. He's committed to be the best second baseman he can be. He's out there every day. He's hard-nosed. He goes into second base to break up double plays as hard as any player I've seen in a long time. You just saw him stay with that ball just now. He wants to be a good one. Perry Hill continues to work with him.
Yep. And in spite of the fact that they neglected to water that part of the infield where he plays around.
Maybe intentionally, huh?
Yep.
Slipped a little bit last night, so maybe the grounds crew trying to help out.
See
although
that
he's
little
not
area there.
Not over there. He's over near the dampened portion. Watch again. Watch him stay with his hot
He gets down.
smash.
You know, a lot of second men go up so they don't get hurt. This ball could hurt you because it's right there. It's a short hop and it's blistered. Knocks it down, stay with it. Makes a nice play. Makes a tough play look pretty easy, actually.
I think Delwyn Young is fearless. I really do. 2-2. Now where that gets him, well, we'll just have to watch and see. Come 2010, maybe somebody else is stationed at second base. No guarantees.
He is an interesting guy, and if he gets quicker hands and quicker feet involved in that pivot, he's going to be very interesting.
Now, he may not get, I haven't talked to Perry Hill about this, he may not get much quicker with the feet or the hands. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, Steve, watching Perry Hill working. You know, Dan Ugla doesn't have the quickest hands in the world by any stretch. But Dan Ugla, he'll hang in there at second base. He doesn't turn the prettiest double play. Talking about the second baseman of the Marlins.
Well, neither did Freddie.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, if a guy hits 300 plus and drives in,
he's a real good
lot
defensive
of runs,
player.
Yeah, surprisingly how better they get defensively.
His defensive stock goes very high.
Ryan Hannigan, catcher of the Reds, with 2 outs and nobody on. Before we go ahead,
it's interesting too. It goes the opposite way. If you have a great glove and can't hit very much, you better find yourself a good fit. You have to have a good fit. You got to be in the right group where
right lineup. Yep.
Kind of protect you.
It's the bat that gets you into that lineup. And even if you're shaky defensively, they'll find a place for you somewhere. 2-0 the count on Hannigan.
Tell you what I like so far. I like that play Young made, but I like the fact that Mr. Zach Duke has 5 outs, all ground balls.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the Zach Duke game. Another one.
That dry area for Delwyn Young. Little shuffle and on to first. 3 ground balls from Zach Duke.
For your opponent to play catch up.
Luis Cruz takes strike 1. Cruz, the native of Mexico. Very limited playing time at the big leagues this season. A fly ball to center. It's Drew Stubbs. 1 out, bottom of the 2nd. Zach Duke having a fine year at the plate.
Yes, he is.
Batting an even 200.
Even a better job moving runners over. 12 sacrifice bunts. It's second, by the way, in the National League to Javier Vasquez, the Atlanta Braves. It's so interesting about Mr. Lear, Justin Lear, because we told you all the places he's been. Came over to the Reds from the Phillies in May, but it had been with the Reds previous to being with the Phillies. This guy's a second go-around with the Reds. This time it worked because they got him from the Philly organization. He promptly went down to AAA Louisville and went 8-1.
2.51 ERA and 11 starts down at Louisville with the Bats. Came up July 31st. Duke, a fly ball to right field, and a catch made by Johnny Gomes for the 2nd out. We check out the Geico quote book. Staying with the 1979 season, the Otter, Ed Ott, on scoring the winning run in 1979 World Series Game 2 on the pinch hit single by Manny Sanguillen. I never knew the ball had been cut off until I had a slice of bologna in my hand later on in the clubhouse.
Only from Ed Ott did you get that quote. Only from the Otter.
And that banner would hang almost every night in left field at Three River Stadium. If it's Ed, it ought to be good. Muncie, Pennsylvania's Ed Ott. He was as tough as nails, is as tough as nails. Nice combo. Left hand hitting Ed Ott, the right hand hitting Steve Nikosha. Nice tandem for that '79 World Series team.
Yeah, we showed the grand slam that Ed Ott hit off Tug McGraw last night.
Nikosha, I know he went through the whole thing. Nikosha was 4 for 4, and people thought that Chuck Tanner was crazy for lifting Nikosha, having a career day. And a base hit for McCutcheon.
Now you watch this situation here. Another situation that kind of knee-jerk reaction. Okay, nothing happening. 2 outs. You got speed at second or at first base. Get him to second. Maybe you can get another manufactured late 2-out run. But again, you say Mr. Lear has a very good move.
And again, Hannigan's numbers.
Yeah.
Very impressive behind the plate.
So it's a challenge for Andrew.
You get catchers around 30%, that's good.
Yep.
Hannigan 45%. And that's just not a small sampling. That's 38 attempts. Delwyn Young singled and scored in the first.
But now if you just get Mr. Lear thinking about you,
Yep.
maybe distracting him a little bit, that could serve a purpose also. Great shot. What a great shot that is.
Yeah, it is.
Love it.
That's
Decently.
our splash cam, Steve.
Yep.
You want to sponsor it, it's available.
All right.
2-0. You interested?
Yes, I am.
We could call it the blast cam. Check with the sales folks.
How much would that cost me?
Check with them on that. In fact, that's our last. We'll give you we might give you a hometown discount, maybe. 2-1 the count on Delwyn Young.
I like that shot even when there's nobody on first base. That's how much I like it.
Really?
I'm seriously interested in sponsoring that.
The blast cam. There it is. No longer the splash cam. Call it the splash cam because it follows balls that are headed toward the Allegheny.
Not anymore. Not if I own it.
Oh, really?
Or if I sponsor it, you're going to have this shot.
You do what you want with it. That's what you'll do.
You do what you want with your own river.
Two and one on Delwyn Young. And pick off try over there. As McCutcheon has stolen 13 bases in 14 tries at the major league level this season. It's over 67 games.
Creeping a little bit. Trying to get an extra foot or two.
Omar Moreno, of course, was the leadoff hitter for the 1979 World Champs. He stole 77 bases.
Do you have a nickname on that team?
The Antelope.
Antelope, yeah. That's right.
77 steals for Omar Moreno in 1979 to lead the league. 77 steals in 98 attempts. Scored 110 runs.
Bigger lead now, maybe a little bit further. The game goes back and forth.
Three and one. There goes McCutcheon. And it's ball four. So it's first and second with 2 outs. Boy, McCutcheon, we were talking about Omar Moreno and shades of Moreno's speed last night with this triple.
Now watch at the beginning. That's not full bore. That's not full speed even here, right there. Now it starts. About 2/3 on the way to second base, it starts.
Yeah, he's not the fastest runner in the league home to first, but first to third, second to home, he absolutely can fly.
Yeah, I like it from halfway between first,
yeah,
wherever he's going, to third base or home. He just flattens out and it just gets quick.
Well, fouled off. Rocco DeMero hosts a post-game radio show on our flagship station, FM News Talk 104.7. Does a great job. Done it for 3 years or so, but I guess he talked last night, I'm told, about watching McCutchen, and when he, as you say, Steve, takes off right around halfway between first and second, rounding second, headed to third, almost like he's going to take flight. 0-2 count on Garrett Jones, who singled and scored in the first. Towards center field and a base hit. And of course McCutchen would have scored anyway. And now, oh brother. Now Garrett Jones not as wise, but he gets the RBI, the base hit, and the Pirates lead 4-0.
That would have kept the inning going, and here's how it goes down. The base hit in front of center fielder Stubbs, and then Garrett making the turn and getting caught making a bad decision trying to go into second base with everything right out in front of him. That might have prompted him to think he had extra time, that bobble, but the recovery is made. What, 8-6-4 on the play?
Sometimes Garrett Jones a little bit overly aggressive on the base pass. We've seen that a few times. He's made the wrong decision, but he does have the RBI.
The Pirates do add on.
It gives him 26 ribbies. Garrett Jones moments ago still thinking about
it. Yep.
Darn. Yep. He's a great guy, and boy, you root for him. Fly ball, left center field, McCutchen.
You know what else you liked about that run? It all started with 2 outs. Cruz is out, Zach Duke is out. Base hit, walk, base hit, another run.
So it's Justin Lear with 1 out, and the Pirates leading 4-0. Now Lear only 9 at bats this season, 2 for 9, but again with his college experience, I have to figure he knows how to swing the bat as he bounces this ball to Delwyn Young. So through 9 men in the batting order, for Duke, 7 ground ball outs.
Yep. Just looking at that, Greg. Good stuff. Greg, where were you in '79? What was your involvement with this ball club when they were going through all that?
Interning in the promotions department.
Great start.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Doing a lot of different things, whatever they needed done.
A lot of odds and
promotional stuff.
Nighttime during the games, run the music during the ball games over the PA system, along with the late Vince Lashide. He was playing the organ, and I was spinning the records.
Well, DJ work.
Yeah.
But I know you also you spent a year down in the instruction league. Was that that same
after
year?
'79, went down to Bradenton.
Clubhouse manager.
Yep.
A lot of different types of uniforms, or was it pretty traditional down there?
It was hand-me-downs.
Okay.
Yeah, but more traditional. Didn't have to worry about June shot. You heard Danny Pete talking about June shot. Having to worry about all the different combos. 6-3. Another ground ball out. Duke rolling 4-0. Check out our day automotive this day in Pirates baseball history. It was on this date in 1979. Tim Foley, the Pirates shortstop, went 2 for 4, drove in 4. Pirates defeat the Giants 8-6. Our this day in Pirates history. Thank you, Day Automotive.
You talk about one of the most animated players the Pirates have ever had. It is Tim Foley. It was
you talk about
a bundle of energy
business.
And hyper and just totally into every aspect of every game.
Tough, no nonsense. And a lot of publicity about the Bill Madlock trade, and rightfully so, when Madlock was dealt later in the summer. But just as important, if not more important, as Andy LaRoche hits a ball to right and Gomes almost has it sail over his head. LaRoche is now 1 for 2 with an RBI. The trade that solidified that infield, it was so important. Frank Taveras was an offensive-minded shortstop for the Pirates from the mid-70s to the late 70s. Frank Taveras, very erratic defensively, would throw the ball all over the place. So the Pirates needed to solidify their infield, and they then traded for Tim Foley in 1979. April 19th, they sent Taveras to the Mets and got Tim Foley. That was huge.
See, I remembered Frankie is not much of a hitter.
Well, yeah, in the late 70s, he was more offense than he was defense, and very erratic. Outstanding speed. And now the batter, Ryan Domet, and he rips this one to right.
There it is. There it is, Dewey. He's not stopping tonight.
That's right. Well, he hit the ball, as we said, 2 hard times last night. Was robbed of extra bases when Drew Stubbs leaped at the wall in right center field to rob him of a double. And then his second time up, he lined it to right. Lance Nix made a diving catch. Nobody's going to catch this one.
I guess the reason I was talking about Taveras that way, one time as you watch the replay, they were telling me a story about during batting practice in Wrigley Field that they brought everybody in during batting practice when Frankie was hitting, and just to embarrass him. Nobody was in the outfield.
No.
Yeah, they made the ring of fire, they called it.
Yeah, Taveras. I mean, he's not a 300 hitter, but he was a guy who would run. In 1977, he stole 70 bases to lead the league. Hit 252. The following year, hit 278. And 262. So at
Better
that
than I
time,
remember.
yeah. But it was more the problem with the fielding for Frank Taveras. He made, in 1978, Steve, he made 38 errors at shortstop. 38.
Wow.
Not 18, not 20, 38 errors. And in fact, in 1979, he made a total of 28 errors. 3 of them with Pittsburgh and then 25 with the Mets after the trade.
That justifies the Los Angeles story about Frankie when he made an error in the 9th inning to cost the Pirates a game. And you know the runway up in Dodger Stadium, everybody trooped in. John Hallahan, the clubhouse manager, waited, and they all trooped past John. And when Frankie got up there, he just held his nose.
That's Hooley did?
Yeah.
Not surprisingly.
You can imagine Hooley just
clubhouse
waiting
manager
for him.
And Millage with a drive toward left center, but over is Stubbs to make the catch. Millage has hit the ball hard a couple of times tonight. Of course, hit that line drive home run last night.
Well, you know, Greg, you talk about player acquisitions during the course of a year, and every team goes through that. You don't very often find a fit like Madlock and Foley that can be the perfect complement, the perfect pieces. I mean, sometimes they're decent improvements, decent pieces and all that, but they were the perfect pieces for the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1979.
No
Madlock
question.
and Foley.
Absolutely. Perfect, as you say, a perfect fit. Madlock would join the Pirates in late June.
When you remember Bill Madlock, you think about the batting championships, and you think about body style. Think about Kirby Puckett. Think about Tony Gwynn. Little short, maybe a little bit round guys. Always quick with the bat. You could not get inside on Puckett, on Gwynn, on Madlock. You couldn't get in there. They were too quick inside. Short, little, tight, good swings.
With occasional pop, too,
Oh,
for
yeah.
Madlock.
Yep.
Madlock was traded by the Giants along with Lenny Randle and Dave Roberts. And Dave Roberts, the late left-hander who was on that World Series team in 1979. Pirates sent Fred Brining, Al Holland, and Eddie Whitson in June. There is Mad Dog. Bill Madlock.
How many batting titles for him?
I want to say 4, but
that's what I was
could be wrong.
Tony Barterome, trainer
right.
emeritus. Tony I used to go in the trainer's room. He said, "Get out of here. Go see your family doctor."
Steve Pearce grounded out in his first time up. Yeah, Madlock won 4 batting titles. That trade enabled Chuck Tanner to put Madlock at third and then move Phil Garner from third to second. We'll talk about solidifying an infield.
When you talk about loyalty, and there's a lot of that subject around any sport, especially baseball. Tony Barterome to Chuck Tanner, extremely loyal to this day.
Yep.
Very, very close.
And when Chuck Tanner left the Pirates and went to manage the Atlanta Braves, he brought Barterome with him.
Chuck.
I think that's with his grandson. Yeah, Bruce Tanner's son. Ball bounced to third. Gilman will go halfway before the runner Pierce is retired. 5-3. Bucks lead 4-zip. subject of the Aflac trivia question? Well, he recorded the last out of the 1979 World Series. Who was he facing? Who was the batter? In Baltimore, Game 7 against the Orioles.
I got it. Can I guess, or should I write it down?
You can guess.
Pat Kelly.
You seem awfully certain.
No, just bold. Not really certain of much of anything.
Yeah. For a bonus,
inquisitive.
Who caught the final out for a bonus? And don't say anything.
Pat Kelly did.
Oh, well, sure.
I'm going with Pat Kelly no matter what the question is.
2, 3, 4 hitters against Zach Duke, who's gotten a lot of ground ball outs.
Nice to see a little offensive support early for Zach Duke. As we said, that there's not been much scoring at all for Zach. 9 wins, 3.42 ERA. That ERA should give you more wins. And by the way, I want to send along congratulations and a special welcome to Frank and Joyce Durancic. They're here in the ballpark taking in the action, and one of the reasons that they are here after this pitch, mention it, is that Frank knows every word of every song Casey and the Sunshine Band have ever done. Yep. Big Frank is here because Joyce told him to be here.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
And that's as simple as that. Frank doesn't really like baseball, but Joyce made him come tonight.
How about that?
Yep. Glad to have them. Big Frank down in the security area.
Good man.
Yep.
He told me. He said you knew it all. Fly ball to McCutcheon in center. Rosales is the first out. We're talking about Tekulve. Teak, who helps host our post-game show after every game.
I bet that's a grandchild right there.
Yeah, yeah. 1979 National League leaders.
94.
Barrel.com. Tekulve, and right behind them, Enrique Romo, and in third, Grant Buck Jackson. Chuck Tanner.
And former Bucko Gene Garber down on that list.
Tanner used that bullpen very effectively.
Rubber Band Man.
Down under.
From the land down under.
Ball and a strike on Votto.
Well, you talk about Ask Teak on our post game. He's getting some questions right there.
Yeah. Line to right field by Votto.
So that matchup going the way of Votto. We're talking about Duke versus Votto and Phillips. So far, Votto okay, but Zach Duke has been real good about dealing with everybody else.
Votto 2 for 2. Brandon Phillips now has hit into more double plays than any other Red.
Well, with Zach featuring the ground ball, did another one. The Pirates came into last night's game tied for the most double plays turned in the National League with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Duke ahead of 0-2.
As long as we're heading out of the security area, let's say hello to Chuck Neal. Kind of holds things together down there. Does a great job.
Yep.
You talk about the nerve center of this building. It is there.
It is mission control.
Yep. Jeff Podovnik, the whole crew.
Check swing, foul ball. Dennis Dupre. Boy, you hate to start to go down the road because you start missing everybody. There's so many people that.
Well, think about it. Think about what's involved here in security and the way security is this day and age. Huge responsibility. These guys
and all the people that help put this concert, this post-game concert that'll be put on. All the promotions people, the people that had to put together this whole weekend. Joe Bilodeau. I mean, you hate going down the road again because you are going to miss everybody. A lot of people. Swing and a miss, down on strikes. Let's go back to Dan Potash.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. I'm joined by the manager of that 79 squad, Chuck Tanner, and your name was the last one called out on the field tonight, standing by the 79 trophy. Everybody came around you. You were the leader. How special a moment was that for you?
That's as great a moment as you can have, being the leader of a bunch of players that won a World Series. And people think it's not easy to win a World Series. And for us to accomplish what we did against all the adversities that we had to overcome was just priceless.
Your managerial style was considered to be different at the time. Did you feel you were doing anything unique or different, or were you just doing what you thought was best?
No, I did what I thought was best for the team. I managed for the players. I utilized our 25-man roster, and I took advantage of all their pluses and would try to hide their minuses. And we were vicious on the bases, and we weren't expected to win it, but we ended up winning it all.
I know we're working with 2 outs in this inning, but let me ask you this real quickly. Does it seem like this group, when they get together again, it almost seems like 79 was just yesterday? They pick up where they left off as far as emotions and friendships and the conversation.
They really do. The same old guys, and you hear them getting on each other. They do the same things. They agitate the same way, and they're all winners.
And so are you. Thanks so much for the time.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Guys, let's send it back to you upstairs.
That kind of covers it, doesn't it? The ringleader.
What a man.
The leader of the band.
Yep. Chuck Tanner came to the Pirates in a trade for Manny Sanguillen from the Oakland A's before the 1977 season, and Tanner brought lumber and lightning to Pittsburgh. It had been the lumber company in the early to mid 70s, and then he added that speed. He let them take off, led by Omar Moreno. There's Sanguy.
And Sally O'Leary.
Oh.
You talk about a very valuable member of this organization. She won the Pride of the Pirate Awards, and she does a great job with our alumni. She did a great job in the PR department with several
many
PR
years.
people.
Sally O'Leary.
She is just one fabulous Pittsburgh Pirate.
Vladimir Valentin.
And time right now for Zach to get a big out.
And over the mound and into center field. Just snuck in a seeing eye single to get the Reds on the board.
Nothing special. Zach got the ground ball, but it was right over his head. The big bounce. And the Reds are on the board. It's one of those, you can't do much about that. You got the ground ball.
Valentin playing in his 17th game with the Reds. Came over from the Mariners. Here's Ryan Hannigan. It's the 4th hit for the Reds. 3 in this inning. Lays off, and it's a ball and a strike. The Reds, with the last night's loss, have fallen to 51 and 70. If the Pirates beat the Reds tonight, the Reds fall into last place. As the Pirates aim for their 5th straight win, which would match their season high. Bucks last won 5 in a row back in mid-May, May 16th to the 20th. One ball, one strike on the rookie catcher Ryan Hannigan. 1-2. Hannigan has been struggling since becoming the full-time backstop. 24 games since taking over for the injured Ramon Hernandez, who had knee surgery. Hannigan struggling at about a 160 clip. in those games. Two balls, two strikes. Two aboard for the Reds. Mention all their injuries. Catcher Ramon Hernandez on the disabled list with left knee surgery. Jay Bruce is out with a broken right wrist. A couple of pitchers on the DL. Ball fouled out of play. Edinson Volquez and Johnny Cueto. Scott Rowland went on the DL.
That's big. Those two youngsters that we saw so much of in spring training, we were so impressed by Cueto and Volquez.
6 different Reds players have had to undergo surgery at one time this season. Alex Gonzalez, who was traded to the Red Sox. Mike Lincoln, we mentioned Hernandez. Joaquin Castillo. Danny Richard. Volquez. Volquez out for the rest of the year. The Reds in an interesting, maybe you'd call it, situation. Some wonder why they would bring in a high-priced veteran third baseman like Scott Rowland. Reds had to pay, the Blue Jays had to pay, we are told, part of the salary, but it's still a good chunk of change.
Still looking at $8 million
Yeah.
next year?
3-2 pitch, bounce to short, comes up on Luis Cruz, but he handles it and throws out Hannigan. So the Reds pick up 1 on 3 hits. They're on the board. Pirates lead 4-1. The Aflac trivia question. Answer. Tekulve recorded the last out of the series. The batter, Steve said Pat Kelly. Steve's always right. Pat Kelly. Pinch hitting for Rick Dempsey.
Omar caught it.
Omar Moreno caught the ball in center field.
Look alive, matey, look alive. Captain Oak.
That was a good one, Steve.
Boy.
Popped up to right.
Hoist up the main yard.
Combs makes the catch.
Main yard.
Here's the last out. Tekulve
Wait a
pitching.
minute. How come Teague's so skinny there? How come Omar's so skinny?
How come we were?
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. 1979. Pirates defeat the Orioles in Baltimore. Now Zach Duke.
Okay, now I got to get back to your involvement here. Now, who hired you to be an intern? I mean, I don't know if you get hired, you don't get paid much, if anything.
Steve Shanwald and Jack Schramm.
Shanwald was here?
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize. I
Steve
know you
was
know
the
him.
director
He's a good friend
of
yours.
promotions, and Jack Schramm was the VP of marketing.
The Night Stalker. Bob Prince called him Jack Schramm. Got a chance to see Jack last fall.
Yep.
Penn State, Ohio State.
We often see Steve in Chicago. He's now
Yep.
vice president for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, Jack Schramm helped me get started too.
Yeah.
Part of all that. Yep. Just don't forget those people. You don't. Had a chance to see Jane Adair in the airport last week. Another person to help me get started. Gil Lucas. And we all go back to people that helped us.
Yep.
Now Shanwald is now with the
Bulls.
Bulls. Yep.
3-2 on Zach Duke. Pete Peterson, of course, was the general manager.
Was Joe O'Toole involved?
Joe
in
O'Toole
that?
was a vice president at the time, but was not involved in the baseball trades. He was the business operations VP. Doug McCormick was the controller. As Zach Duke draws the walk. 2009 Pirates Baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on. And before we leave the folks from the front office, I know he would love to be here tonight, but not able to. Just not up to it, to kind of under the weather. Olin DePolo was very much involved in sales and marketing in 1979. So Olin, we're thinking about you. Owen won the count on McCutcheon. He's bounced to short, singled, and scored. Fourth inning, Pirates up 4-1. About hit the Reds 7-4. And a fly ball to left. Back, nearing the wall. Oh, catch made very close.
Almost. Well, you tickle that left field corner, you can get something rather inexpensive, and he almost caught that shot inside the foul pole. Just ran out of gas.
Valentine making the play. McCutcheon 1 for 3 tonight. Delwyn Young on base twice. And he pops this ball up. Second baseman Brandon Phillips drifting out and makes the catch with a little Dave Parker flair, huh?
Yep.
AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Duke has delivered to this point. 1 run, allowing just 4 base runners, 4 singles. Faces Paul Janisch to start the 5th. Nice crowd on hand at beautiful PNC Park, enjoying the weekend here, the 1979 World Series celebration weekend. Zach Duke, 9 ground ball outs, 2 flyouts, and a strikeout. Tomorrow, this series will conclude at 1:35. It's a kids' Sunday. Kevin Hart for Pittsburgh against Homer Bailey. And all kids 14 and under get a gold Pirates 1979 replica batting helmet. First base unassisted. That's tomorrow. And Andrew McCutcheon modeling the batting helmet the kids will get tomorrow, courtesy of Pirates.com. Get here early. Enjoy the family fun zone out on Federal Street. Kids run the bases after the game. Call 1-800-5-BUCKS. Visit Pirates.com. It's also a Kids Get In Free Day brought to you by Panera. Call 1-800-5-BUCKS for details. There's Kutch. Last night, almost 23,000 on hand for the start of this 1979 World Series celebration weekend. Bigger crowd tonight as they get ready for Casey and the Sunshine Band. And that disco legend, KC, and his band will perform live on the field. He sang the anthem. Strike 3 called on the pitcher. Second K for Duke. And it's just been a fun atmosphere starting last night. It'll be fun tonight to bring back those disco songs of the late 70s.
Indeed. Indeed. Oh, indeed.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Casey's looking pretty good too, isn't he?
Now the batter, Drew Stubbs.
Can't wait.
Yep, it's going to be fun. Can't make it, could not be here tonight, couldn't make it last night. Hope you're here tomorrow afternoon. World Series champion Phillies come to town Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. All 7:05 starts. By the way, Zach and his wife Kristen Duke going to host kids from the Pittsburgh Project at PNC Park on Tuesday. They've done this a couple of times, bring in some kids from Pittsburgh Project, bring them to the ballpark, spend some time. Zach and his wife Kristen watch some batting practice, meet some Pirate players. And Zach and Kristen Duke also provide the kids with complimentary concession vouchers. He is a good guy. You hear that a lot about these Pirate players. Zach Duke, easy to root for. All popped up, foul territory, and out of play. Pierce went in hard for that railing. You saw that, but he went in really hard to that low railing. Watch.
Oh, that's nothing. He's a tough kid.
Maybe we can show it in regular speed. And he did not go. Oh, according to Kevin Causey.
I think Steve's going to be okay.
I do, but he limped. I mean, he went in hard. Let's watch. What was that ball for? Wait a minute. Ball 3, an embarrassing moment for Drew Stubbs.
Yep, give him a mom back. Mom back. Mom back. Beep, beep, beep. Mom back.
Oh, stabbed by Duke. For the final out. 1, 2, 3. Halfway through it, 4-1 Pirates. Three for 5 for AAA Indy. Double, couple of runs scored. Infielder Ray Chang was 2 for 4 at AA Altoona, and Josh Harrison was 2 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs. Harrison, one of the players acquired in one of the deals this summer. Tabata is 1 for 3 with a home run tonight. He continues to impress at AAA. Tabata, a player who came over from the Yankees last summer. And who else? Virgil Vasquez is pitching tonight for Indy, allowing 1 earned run in 6 innings. That is Brad Henderson, the head trainer, talking with John Russell. And Garrett Jones bounces one weakly to the pitcher. Justin Lear getting the first out of the 5th inning. A makeshift rotation for Dusty Baker, and Lear looking to provide him some innings. LaRoche has singled in a run and flied to right. And ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. The count on Andy LaRoche. Three balls and a strike.
Can you possibly explain to me what's been going on at Fenway Park the last couple of days?
No.
Last couple of games?
No.
Yankees
Won't
20 to 11
Nope.
last night, and now 14 to 1. Boston earlier. How much pitching? Well, Boston had to get some pretty good pitching today. 1 run.
LaRoche draws the 1-out walk. It's his 3rd free pass. Back to the Steve Pearce play. It's that play in foul territory. He went and maybe banged his foot. Ryan Doumit has bounced into a forced play, driving in a run, and doubled in the 3rd. Domit with a runner at first, one out in the fifth. And that was a line double to right field for the Pirates catcher. And a big stolen base in that first inning enabled him to score on the Millage single. In the dirt, taking off towards second is LaRoche, and he's there as the throw from Hannigan is in the dirt.
That's all a reaction, gut feel thing when you take off like that. You got to make a decision to go without even thinking about it. You're either going to not go or you go.
Now LaRoche thought about it a second or two there, and then took off. I don't know that there was anybody better at anticipating a ball in the dirt than Jack Wilson. Boy. It's high and 2-1 on Domit. And they move that shortstop Janish almost behind second. Bucks look to add on. And a fly ball to right field. Forget it. Over the Clemente wall. It's Ryan Domit with his 7th home run of the season. And the Pirates now lead at 6-1.
And Johnny Gomes said it all, or showed us everything you needed to know. He never made one step, just turned around to look how far up into the stands that ball was going to go. Welcome back, Ryan. Lear hangs the slider. And Ryan hangs one up into the seats.
Bucks lead 6-1.
Oh, those free passes.
And a fly ball to right field by Millage. Ryan Domit now 7 home runs. How about the long ball? Pirates have now homered 9 times in their last 5 games after going 5 straight without hitting one.
Welcome home to the Pirates. I don't know what it is about home cooking, but sure does taste good.
They do like it here at PNC Park.
Miserable road trip. There have been a few of those, but here at PNC, well over 500.
Noma's first home run since August the 7th.
3 productive at-bats for Ryan Domit tonight.
And a fly ball to left by Pierce, sending Valentin back to the wall. And he makes the catch. Nobody able to catch the Domit drive. Over the Clemente wall, kiss it goodbye. the last moment cheese Chesta, the winner. Zach Duke trying to win his 10th. Adam Rosales has bounced to short and flied to center. Two 2-0 on Rosales.
Zach Duke going into the 8th inning. His last 2 starts rolling along just fine so far in this one. You have to throw some strikes now to keep that roll going. See the activity in the Cincy bullpen. I think we saw Carlos Fisher last night. 1-2-3 inning for that right-hander. Couple of strikeouts, quick work for the Pirates. But the Buccos won at 5-2.
And there's Delwyn Young hanging with it. One hop shot, goes on to get Rosales.
Nicely done by Young. Nice comeback by Zach, falling behind 3-0. And they don't have a lot of wiggle room, so make him earn it. Those strikes. He did. Gets the out.
I've heard some people say, hey, you're going a little overboard with Delwyn Young. Delwyn Young. You have to understand, this guy hasn't played second base in the big leagues. That's why it may sound like, and I'm speaking for myself, not for you, Steve, but you have no idea how hard this guy's working. And it's impressive to see him do this. You don't just play Major League Baseball, step in and play a tough position.
Yeah, it's one of the most critical positions.
And so, you know.
And it's the toughest double play to turn.
Yeah.
It's the toughest pivot. The shortstop's just cruising across second base on his way to first. The second baseman has to go over there, either get stationary or even give ground at times.
Another ground ball out. First 2, and now Brandon Phillips. Toward the line and right. Jones is over and can't make the catch. And into the area by the shed, or the grounds crew area, over that short fence. And Garrett Jones wanted that one. It'll be a double for Phillips.
Kept on slicing away from him.
And he's working, by the way, on playing right field on a regular basis.
And has not played. He's a career first baseman.
Yeah.
Must be frustrating for him because he's getting the job done with the bat. And you wonder how that's going to play out. We talked about the window for Steve Pearce. How long is it going to stay open? There has been speculation by some people that Jones is the first baseman of the future, but I don't think it's etched in stone. But you know, you hear those kind of things.
Well, and he's going to be in right field the rest of the year. You can count on it. Maybe a start or 2 at first until September the 1st. But as we mentioned earlier, Jeff Clement is going to be coming up from AAA, and Clement's, if anything, as a first baseman.
Well, that's what we said about Jones, too. He was a first baseman.
Clement was a catcher early on in his professional career with the Mariners. Did some catching there in Seattle.
Huge lead at second base.
And a base hit. So with 2 outs, Phillips will score easily. It makes it 6-2. Second hit for Johnny Gomes.
Routine line drive, left center field, and the Reds get back involved. 2 quick outs, ground balls to second base. I firmly believe the 6th inning has been the bugaboo inning for Pirate starters. All year long, it's been a challenge to get on the other side of the 6th. And it always is to a degree, but boy, this year it seems like it's really pronounced.
Duke has 3 complete games this season. He's gone 7 1/3 his last 2 starts. Pitch number 85 for Zach Duke.
Nothing happening in the Pirate bullpen now, but I think if Valentine gets on, they would maybe just think about getting somebody on in case this thing keeps going here in the top of the 6th inning. Precautionary measure. Zach Duke's been fine to this point.
Fly ball to left, Millage. Reds pick up 1 after 2 outs. A double and a single. The Pirates up 6-2. Light freeze cam. Shot hit by Johnny Gomes leading off the 2nd. Delwyn Young stays with it. Down to the right knee. Coors Light freeze cam. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. New pitcher is Carlos Fisher.
Did not have a problem with the 6th inning on the Red side last night. He came in 1, 2, 3 with a couple strikeouts. Total package of numbers for Carlos Fisher as Lear went 5 innings, giving up 6 runs on 8 hits. He walked 3, did not strike out a batter.
Luis Cruz flied out twice against the starter Lear. Cruz has himself a base hit to start the 6th, and Mr. Sacrifice bunt will come up.
Well, perfect opportunity.
Duke will come to the plate, and when he returned to the dugout, Joe Kerrigan met him.
Well, Joe pretty much meets every pitcher after every inning. Could be a variety of subjects. Maybe trying to get him more on a downward plane to get that sinker. A little further down, a little further away. "12 sacrifice bunts, as we said, 2nd in the National League behind Vasquez of Atlanta. He has 14. Yep, just confirmation, Zach. You know what you're doing.
Does it again.
Perfecto.
13 Sacrifice bunts for Zach Duke. He has put on a clinic all year.
Square around, keep the bat level. Don't tip the end down. You foul a lot of balls off. Unless you have to go downstairs. Now that's a situation there where he did have to tip. He had to get downstairs. We tipped the bat down. Many times you can foul that ball off, but he was able to get the good part of the barrel on it.
Strong number of bunts delivered by Duke, 13. Last year, Pirates team leader was Freddie Sanchez with 8. Old school baseball fans love that bunt.
Well, pitcher doesn't have to hit. That's kind of a bonus, but you should be able to bunt the ball. And that's a product of repetition, and not just off a soft toss. Have somebody throw hard to you or work off a machine, whatever it is, but don't have it be a lazy exercise. Anybody can go up there and bunt the ball when they're kind of throwing you a looper in toward you. But let somebody put a little zing onto it or work off a machine. Get the feel. Do it 8 million times till you get it right.
Big cut from McCutchen.
Lee Trevino said once, you want to be a better golfer? Try hitting 500 balls a day.
There you
You
go.
want to be a better bunter?
Yep.
Bunt 500 balls a day. You want to be a fence climber? Climb 500 fences a day.
And McCutchen draws the walk. If you're traveling and can't watch your Pirates on FSN, you can always catch the game on your computer with MLB.tv, the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 out-of-market games per week live on your computer. Catch those you miss on demand. For more details, visit Pirates.com, where baseball is always on. Concentrating on the 1979 season, obviously, all weekend long. And Zach Duke with 13 bunts successfully executed. Tim Foley led that 79 team, maybe not surprisingly, with 19 sacrifice bunts. And Bert Blyleven led the pitching staff with 15
Foley hit in the second hole,
yep.
2-hole.
Yep. Here is the number 2 hitter in the order tonight, Delwyn Young. Fouled it off past Tony Beasley.
What about Jay Bell? He had
Jay Bell had I think he has maybe the single season Pirate record.
He had a bunch.
He was that number 2 hitter in the early 90s teams.
That was when a lot of teams were playing for 1 run.
Yep.
Get on the board. Get on the board.
Check swing and taken. Oh, wow. Man, tough call. Delwyn Young on the appeal to Mike Estabrook is out number 2.
I'd say he's got a decent beef.
Jay Bell had 39 bunts, by the way, in 1990. Garrett Jones. He has singled twice and bounced back to the mound. An RBI in the second. And a very impressive OPS. Something that was not talked about back in 1979 or 1990, but with the sabermetrics folks, it's become a pretty big deal. And a line drive to right center field and over the head of Johnny Gomes. Cruz will score. McCutchen will fly home. Garrett Jones, a 2-run double, gives him 3 more RBIs. and helps that OPS as the Pirates open up an 8-2 lead.
And that was a rocket. Gomes went over, and that ball simply had too much carry and got over his head. If he cuts a little better angle, he might have a better chance, but this ball got out to Johnny Gomes in a rush. And now when you get out there, Garrett, stay at second base.
Yeah. Carlos Fisher reacts.
Didn't get it. I got to go find a base to back up.
Johnny Gomes has had a couple of balls sail on him tonight, balls that he's caught a bit uncomfortably. This one, a line drive just sailing over the head, and Jones has 3 ribbies. Garrett Jones now with 28 RBIs on the season.
Having an interesting night, busy night.
Headed up the middle, but the second baseman is there. Phillips throws out Andy LaRoche. Pirates add to the lead. 8-2 on to the 7th inning.
Okay. Back in 1979 for the Lumber Company, Bill Madlock, Willie Stargell, and Dave Parker certainly providing a lot of power on that World Championship team. And I'm joined by the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. And when you came over from the Giants, how did you feel you fit in? I think people felt that you certainly had the offensive firepower, but you took over at third, Garner went to second, and it seemed to solidify that infield.
Well, I think that's the main thing, putting Phil back to his original position and me in at third. So I felt really good because I knew most of the guys, and it was an easy fit, especially with Stargell leading the way.
Did you guys feel you had to live up to the nickname, the Lumber Company, or was it just something that came naturally for you guys at the plate?
Well, it came natural. It's really funny. He said, my agent, he came to see us during the season. He said, I go to White Sox Power Park. It's just real simple names. I go to your ballpark. I see, so you got the Hammer, you got the Cobra, you got the Mad Dog, you got all the stuff. He said, just a different clubhouse. And we played that way. We felt we had to live up to it because the Lumber Company was just a part of the Pirates for years, and we just wanted to keep it going.
I know that the theme for that team was the family. It's certainly been that this weekend. You guys gathered on the field around the trophy and around Chuck Tanner. What kind of man was he for you guys, and maybe what kind of a father was he for the family?
Well, Chuck was just great because he let you be your own man. I mean, he didn't put too many rules on it. We had a veteran team. We respected him. We knew what to do, and he let us do what we wanted to do. But we know when we go on the field, we have to perform 100%. We couldn't give 98%. We had to give the best because he trusted us to do that.
before I let you go, you guys were having a lot of fun the last couple days. I've heard a lot of stories back in the suite. I can only imagine how much fun you had back in '79.
Right, we got a lot better now. We can lie. Nobody know anything about most people. All the kids, they didn't know us anyway. We could tell them anything. They'll believe us.
Mad Dog, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure doing it.
Guys, back upstairs to you.
All right, just got to be careful with the internet now. Some of those stats, they always get improved after every year. So.
That's very true. You're right. I can't lie about my stats. I don't have any.
Yes, you do.
Base hit for Hannigan starts the 7th thanks to Dan Potash. Paul Yanish has flied out and grounded out.
Activity now in the Pirate pen.
And a fly ball to Garrett Jones. Micah Owings, last night's starter, will pinch hit. This is not uncommon for him in Arizona or in Cincy.
Well, Dusty Baker doesn't want to use any of these regular pinch hitters. Just
yeah, but this is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Just because of the possibility that they could come back in this game,
yeah.
And he's a gifted hitter for a pitcher, but he's still a pitcher up there hitting.
Danny Herrera. And a base hit for Micah Owings. The winners at first and second. That'll bring up Drew Stubbs. Owings is almost Brooks Kieschnick-like these days. If you remember Brooks Kieschnick, he was listed at times as a pinch hitter, and as you said, Owings, it's not new to him at all.
Listed at times as a pitcher.
Yep. Joe Kerrigan goes to the mound. Bob Airy is here, taking it all in. FSN Penguins analyst. Penguins will open up against the Rangers at home October 2nd on FSN. By the way, going back to Micah Owings, who is on first base with the pinch hit single. I just saw where his 4 home runs that he hit in 2007 and won the National League Silver Slugger Award for the pitching position. And obviously that season led all National League pitchers in homers and RBIs. 4 homers, the most by a pitcher in a single season since a Kansas City left-hander hit 4 homers in 1969. Jim Rooker. Now the visit from Kerrigan and a fly ball to right. Garrett Jones is back, nearing the wall with room.
You take a look at that at bat by Micah Owings, and pretty observant as a pitcher up there trying to hit, taking that low and away sinker, which Zach Duke throws a lot of. Looking for it, got it, was able to get the base hit. Very unpitcher-like.
Adam Rosales 0 for 3. Hannigan at second, Owings at first, as Duke tries to get through the 7th inning. Charlie Morton got 1 out in the 7th inning last night. Paul Mahalem went 7 2/3 on Wednesday. Ross Ohlendorf faced 1 batter in the 8th inning on Tuesday.
Approaching the magic number.
Threw 113 pitches his last start in Chicago's Wrigley Field.
John let Paul go an extra inning.
Toward the gap in right center, and it is McCutcheon. Couple of hits, couple of left stranded, and it's 7th inning stretch time from Pittsburgh's PNC Park. Pirates leading at 8-2. Pirates a 6-2 lead. Tonight's Mercedes-Benz E-Class Attention Assist of the game. A few moments ago, Zach Duke talking with the skipper, John Russell.
Yeah, he gave Paul the 8th inning. Let's see if he gets. Is he going to give Zach the 8th inning?
Doesn't look like it. Left-hander is warming in the bullpen. Phil DeMatre. Ryan Gomit starting the bottom half of the 7th, and now batting from the right side.
Turns around, but you kind of turn things around from the other side.
Yeah.
Tonight. Good night for Ryan.
Daniel Herrera, the diminutive left-hander. Listed at 5'6". Left-hander from Odessa, Texas.
55th appearance. Good ERA.
Came over in the Josh Hamilton deal along with Edinson Volquez before the 08 season. Tapper foul. Made 7 appearances last year for the Reds. So Daniel Ray Herrera, the left-hander, and Phil DeMatre up in the Pirates bullpen. It's been a long road back for DeMatre.
Floater. Got a floater going up there about 65 miles an hour.
Herrera will throw just about everything at you. Screwball included. What is it about the screwball, Steve? What does that do? What's the action on a screwjee?
Well, from a left-hander, now if we can get behind the pitcher, it's the opposite of a curveball. His curveball will go in, the screwball will go out that way. Just a reverse curveball. Sometimes used to describe all pitchers.
And a base hit. Doman having himself a night. 3 hits. And we have to mention it, though it's not likely, a triple shy of the cycle. Leadoff single for
That's the
Doman.
screwball. Down and away from the left-hand batter. And went down and got it. So base hit.
Our Southwest Field cam. Doman feeling a lot better about himself offensively, no question. Now Millage, 1 for 3.
And the Pirates back having a little fun on the banks of the Allegheny River.
11 hits.
A lot of home runs.
Yeah.
A lot of wins here on the homestand so far.
Looking for 5 in a row. One ball, one strike on Lastings Millage.
Well, when you talk about this young man on the mound, when you talk about changeup, you really are talking about changeup. Changeups thrown in the mid to upper 60s are very much a change of speeds.
And Millage goes the other way. It's a fair ball. And Millage will go to second as the ball kicks off the short fence. Lastings Millage is 2 for 4. Had a couple of hits last night with a home run.
And this time Gomes takes a difficult route, but he had to because he had to protect down deep into the right field corner. So he's kind of hedging his bet down there, but the ball comes straight off. So you can see him. He has to come back in, track the ball in front of him. And the Pirates right back in action here in the 7th inning.
Lastings Millage, bat coming around.
Dozen hits now.
Infield in for Steve Pearce. Now these are the kind of at-bats that the Pirates manager, coaching staff, Neil Huntington watching very, very closely. Each one, of course. But here, second and third, no one out, and the infield shortened up. Pierce is not going to have a lot of opportunities. He has to make the best of them.
This is one of the best opportunities you're going to have.
How he comes through in a situation like this will go a long way in determining not just this at bat, but at bats just like this one. And it's lined into left center. He gets one in, he will get two in. Steve Pierce maybe putting icing on the cake this celebration of the 1979 World Series Pirates, and they are playing like champions this homestand and this weekend.
That might have been another screwball down and away. He just served it on a line to left center field. Yep. There it is. That's the screwball. And he does exactly what Ryan Doumit did with a little more height.
10-2.
Celebrate good times. Come on. KC.
That's the way we like it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
0-1 the count on Luis Cruz. He is 1 for 3.
There, you want some offensive support, Zach?
Under the glove of Rosales.
One of those nights.
Air third. Well, Dusty Baker. Things not going as planned when Baker joined the Cincinnati Reds. A lot of success in Cincinnati. Didn't work out in Chicago with the Cubs. Baker spent 4 years with the Cubbies. First year, won the division. Lost to the Marlins, of course, in the National League Championship Series. The Bartman play. And this is his second year with the Reds. They went 74-88 last year. Ryan Bixler back in the big leagues. And now, I don't think, at least for now, considered the shortstop potentially the future. Now it looks like the Pirates are looking at him as a utility type player in the future. Recall the 15th this month, hit .278 at AAA Indy with 9 homers, 42 RBIs. Had a 15-game hitting streak for the Indianapolis club when he was recalled. Was 5 for 25 and 8 starts at shortstop this season for the Pirates from April 26th through May the 10th.
So Zach Duke goes 7 innings, giving up a couple of runs on 8 hits, did not walk a batter. And struck out 2. You love that 0 in the base on balls column.
Sure.
Love it. Make them earn their way on. You can live with a fairly high number of hits given up, but when you don't walk anybody, it helps out a lot.
Three and 1 on Brian Bixler, and nobody up in the Reds bullpen.
You would love to have Brian Bixler run into one.
Yeah.
Be good for the soul.
Walks, and the bases are loaded for Andrew McCutchen. Here comes Dick Pohl, the pitching coach. Pirates leading at 10-2.
This might be one of those visits where, son, you got to take one for the team. You're going to save some arms.
Now let's go back to one of the suites here at PNC Park, where many of the players from 1979 on hand and members of the family. And now over to Dan Potash.
All right, Brownie, thank you very much. I'm with Margaret Stargell, and there's been so much talk about Pops over the last couple of days. How cool has this been for you to not only hang out with his former teammates, but kind of feel the love that they felt for Pops as well?
It has been an amazing experience to be here on his behalf and to see so many of his friends that he loved and that loved him. It's amazing how much love they still have for him and how they've not forgotten him at all. He's around forever.
I certainly get the sense that a lot of these guys feel that they can just pick up where they've left off. And I'm not just talking about the last time they got together, whether it was the 25th reunion or the 20th reunion. I'm talking about from 1979. The stories just start from there.
They haven't lost a beat. They haven't forgotten anything about the 79 series. They haven't forgotten their friendship and the brotherhood that they had with each other, and they really were a family. The song "We Are Family" is so fitting for this team, and as I said, it's just amazing to see the love that they had, and so I'm not surprised that so many of the guys turned out for tonight.
Did Willie also know how much the city of Pittsburgh loved him as well? We just showed a newspaper article from the morning after the championship was won in 1979, and it said, "Willie, family, win it all." I kind of got the feeling from looking back at some of the things that happened then that really the city felt that they were part of Willie Stargell's heart as well.
Well, Willie knew that the city of Pittsburgh loved him, but I can promise you, they didn't love him as much as he loved Pittsburgh. He loved the city, he loved his fans, he loved the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Margaret, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you.
Guys, the family continues.
Yeah, and the runs continue, Dan. Thanks. A bases loaded walk, so give McCutcheon the RBI that brings home Pierce. Still nobody out. Willie Stargell, the Pirates were down game 7. Bill Robinson is aboard, and this will do it. Over the wall. Pirates take the lead, go on to beat the Baltimore Orioles in game 7. What a moment.
There with Bill Robinson.
As Pops comes home to his family. 1979 in Baltimore. Game 7. The Pirates would win it 4-1.
I've seen that pitch so many times, hit into the seats. Not a bad looking pitch, either from a left-hander, breaking ball down and away. And number 8 just turned it around. And well, Dusty Baker's going to have to do something now.
Scott McGregor delivered that pitch. Pirates were down 1-0 in the top of the 6th inning. Columbia Gas 8-1-1 call to the pen. It's all Pirates tonight. World Series Pirates that were on hand introduced. John Candelaria, Ed Ott. If it's Ed, it ought to be good. The hitman, Mike Giesler. Sangy, of course. Talk about making you smile. Is he ever not smiling? Kent Tekulve. And Chuck Tanner, the skipper.
You know, it's not just all about baseball. It brings you back some of your youth for a night. Makes you feel young, makes you remember what you were able to do a lot of years ago. And it feels good. And it makes you smile.
Magical season of 1979, and they're partying out at one of the suites here. That's Buster, Bruce Keeson.
With his father-in-law, Steve Orlando, I believe.
Donnie Robinson in the back holding court.
Bruce married a Pittsburgh lady right after the '71 series. And Marie Orlando.
Delwyn Young, still nobody out, with Pittsburgh leading 11-2.
This could get a little ugly.
Oh, what a stop by Phillips. 1 and 2. What a play.
Well, the Cincinnati Reds won't remember much about this game, but they'll remember that play. Phillips almost looked, I want to see a replay real fast because I think he flipped it back over his body. The stop is great. Yeah, and then the hook shot.
Oh.
Well, you're going to see that the rest of the night, maybe the rest of the week.
Wow.
Like getting down the foxhole and throwing the grenade out.
Spectacular play from Brandon Phillips.
Better than that.
Dusty Baker was asked about maybe moving Phillips to shortstop. He said, nope, not going to do it. You're not going to move a Gold Glove type second baseman to short. Jared Burton, by the way, is the man who delivered that pitch. Young robbed of a hit and maybe a couple RBIs. Pirates now leading at 12-2.
I wonder if the fans had enough of an appreciation for that play because they got the wave going now. They're having some fun, which is great to see at this ballpark. But boy, hope they saw that gem. Saturday night at the ballpark with your home team getting it done.
Wearing their boogie shoes, getting ready for KC and the Sunshine Band. Having some fun at PNC Park. And now 2-2. It's a full count on Garrett Jones. Looking for a career high 4 RBIs. Matching that mark tonight with 3, matching his career high. Fouls it off from Jared Burton. Burton's the 4th pitcher to work tonight for the Reds. Garrett Jones faced Justin Lear 3 times, singled and scored in the 1st, drove in a run in the 2nd, and then was thrown out trying to go to 2nd on the bobble by Stubbs. In the 5th inning, Jones bounced back to the mound, and his last time up in the 6th inning against Carlos Fisher, doubled to right, scoring a pair. Burton gets him, but the Pirates walking away with this one, becoming a laugher. 12-2 after 7. And let's check out how we got to this point. Tonight's summary brought to you by A&L Motors. Pirates with 13 hits, scoring a dozen runs, which matches their season high. Ryan Doumit 3 for 4, a homer. He has 3 RBIs, as does Garrett Jones, and Zach Duke, in all likelihood, is going to go to 10 and 11. 7 strong innings. That's tonight's A&L Motors game summary.
And the Pirates will bring in left-hander Phil DeMontre, recovered hopefully completely from shoulder surgery. See what he has done since being activated again. 7 rehab appearances, 5 starts, 0-4 with a 4.50 ERA. Last year, 21 appearances for the Pirates, as former Cincinnati Red.
Votto, a check swing, foul ball. Votto 2 for 3. Brian Bixler stays in the game to play second, so DeMontre will hit in the 2-hole, and obviously John Russell wants to get 2 innings out of him. And this would be a real shot in the arm for the Pirates if DeMontre could be effective again, and he was for the most part last year before the injury shut him down.
3-4 with his 21 appearances, 5.26 ERA.
10 relief appearances before he made his first start in May last year at a 392 earned run average, and replaced Matt Morris in the rotation after Morris was released. Fly ball toward left center field, and a diving catch by Lastings Millage. Oh, how about Millage going airborne?
And the ball slicing back toward him, but he went a long way, stayed with it, made a fine play.
Lastings Millage. DeMontre loves it. And he keeps working on that outfield play with Gary Varsho. Now Brandon Phillips. Phillips doubled and scored in the 6th. He's also bounced to second and struck out. DeMontre had a real good outing against his former club last year. May 29th. Gave up 1 unearned run in 7 innings against the Reds. Struck out 9. And then he really tried to pitch through some of that shoulder tightness. Ended up being diagnosed as bursitis, and did struggle through some outings, and he wasn't 100%, and he strikes out Phillips in the second out here in the 8th.
Phillips with that smile after strike number 2, that smile after strike number 3, not agreeing with the calls, but he's out of there. Nothing to smile about, but
good pitch. DeMontre.
The opposite of our play that made you smile.
Yeah. No Aspindello there. Johnny Gomes 2 for 3 against the lefty starter Duke. Two of the 8 hits given up by Duke. And again, the fastball comes in, and DeMontre against Johnny Gomes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1. DeMontre picked up his first big league win May the 7th, went 5 2/3 scoreless against the Giants. last year. That's lined off the glove of the third baseman LaRoche, and good try by Cruz to gather it up.
This almost looked like it handcuffed Andy.
He'll be charged with the error.
Not saying it was the case in that situation, but sometimes balls are hit so hard it's almost like a wind shear. You never know. I've seen balls that have been tattooed almost just go sideways. Don't know if it was the case there.
Well, Vladimir Valentin. They have changed that, I believe, to a hit now. We'll take the error away. Valentin 1 for 3.
Still an error up on the scoreboard. Could have just been eliminated, and now there's a 0. So perhaps it could have been one of those balls that just took off sideways.
Runner going, ground ball, and Andy LaRoche will handle the backhand and fire to Pierce. And Phil DeMatre has to feel great to get back on the big league mound. It's been a long time coming. Courtesy of Panera Bread. Just stop by your local Panera Bread restaurant, pick up a kids get in free voucher, offer good while supplies last, tickets based on availability. Bring the voucher to the PNC Park box office, or for more information call 1-800-5-BUCKS. Don't forget tomorrow also all kids 14 and under get a 1979 replica batting helmet courtesy of Pirates.com. 1:35 start tomorrow. Get here early, youngsters, for the Fun Zone out on Federal Street, and after the game, kids run the bases.
Kevin Barker takes over at first base for Joey Votto.
LaRoche takes a ball. Looks like Craig Tatum now catching for the Reds. Dusty Baker starts to bring in some reserves here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Pirates leading it 12-2.
Jared Burton in his second inning of work. One of those Rule 5 players that made it. They picked him up from the Oakland A's.
One and two on LaRoche.
Justin Lear started for the Reds, and the Pirates got to him right in the first inning, giving up 3. Total line 5 innings, 6 runs on 8 hits. A man who had come up and done such a fine job in his first 4 starts. Pirates touched him up, and they've never looked back. Followed by Fisher, Herrera, and now Burton.
Everybody on the Pirate hit parade tonight. Pittsburgh scoring a dozen, and with a baker's dozen under the hits column, they will send the Reds into the cellar tonight. The Pirates would like to leave the basement and never return. Fisted foul out of play.
The dark, cold cellar.
It's not fun, is it?
It's not fun.
Cold cellar.
It's never fun to go down in the dark, cold cellar. Things down there.
Ooh, nasty.
Zach Duke gonna get that double-figure win tonight.
They go to 10 and 11. Giannis retires LaRoche.
And Zach didn't hurt his ERA, which is already real good at 3.42. Probably didn't move a heck of a lot.
Duke's ERA currently at 3.38 after his performance tonight.
Worked that hard and only pick up 4 points.
Doesn't seem fair.
But he finally got the offense that has been lacking. Offensive support.
Meanwhile, Domit's batting average, thanks to his 3 for 4.
Let me guess. It was 214. I'm guessing 231.
Oh, not bad. 227.
Well, you're talking about before this at bat. I'm talking about after this hit.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, you're going to be right on the money here after this hit. Oh, pounded toward the back row.
Up in that
the second
corner.
deck. Yeah.
Don't see much action up in that corner. I think Ryan got around a little quick on this one.
Watch this ball.
Right in the corner of that grandstand.
Rattle.
In and out.
Bucks 3 outs away from winning their 5th straight, matching their season high. That makes them currently the hottest team in baseball.
And tomorrow, Homer Bailey, 2-4 with a 7.53 ERA against Kevin Hart. Stay tuned. Come on out. It's always kind of a fun Sunday, and it could really be fun. Pirates tack on another W.
The Pirates improving after tonight to 33 and 27 at PNC Park this season. Just can't figure that out, can you? Right?
I can't.
No real reason for it.
Don't know the answer to that.
To play 6 games over 500 at home. Doman looking for the triple, Steve. He needs to get one into the notch.
Yeah, and have it rattle around for a while.
Get the cycle.
Getting his money's worth.
Now you're ahead 12-2. Doman obviously not blessed with the greatest of speed, but we saw Barmes do it in Colorado.
You don't hold back.
Yeah.
You can be thrown out by 30 feet, but you take the turn at second base.
So he needs to get it into that gap there in your north side notch, right?
Yep.
See the direction there in left center?
Get that slicing ball.
All right, 3-2. Steve, I understand, by the way, you called McCutcheon's triple last night.
You act surprised.
No, not at all.
I did. I got like, if you keep doing it, I mean, it's August. Has to happen at some point. And it did for that young man.
And not for Domet here. He goes down on strikes. Check out the road ahead. Upcoming schedule of games for the Pirates, and here on FSN tomorrow, 1:35, airtime 1:30. As Steve mentioned, Kevin Hart for Pittsburgh against Homer Bailey. And then the world champion Phillies come to PNC Park for their first and only visit Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, all at 7. Ross Ollendorf, Paul Mahalem, Charlie Morton on the hill for the Bucks against Joe Blanton, Cole Hamels, and Jay Happ for the Phillies.
Yep.
0-2 on Millage. 2 hits, an RBI. He has now driven in 5 in the first 5 games of the homestand. A 1-2 count on Lastings Millage. Millage, the RBI single to center field in the first inning. It was a 2-out single. Brought home Ryan Domet, who had stolen second, and gave the Pirates a 3-0 lead. They have not looked back. Millage flied to center field in the third, hit a ball to the warning track in right field in his 5th inning at bat, and then doubled and scored in the 7th. The double was hit on the line to right, just hugging that right field line.
We mentioned, Greg, about the turnout tonight. 32,750.
Worth mentioning again, that's for sure, yeah.
32,570.
Last night, 23,000. 32,500 tonight. Beautiful PNC Park. You see these Pirates wearing their throwback 1979 uniforms. We didn't get a chance to get into it, but Tim DeBacco, who is the PA announcer and resident Pirate historian, reminded us some interesting trivia that after the 78 season, the Pirates never used the combination of pinstripes and solids. They did in 77 and 78.
It was all pinstripe or all solid.
Right. Well, no, not yeah, it was always all pinstripe, but sometimes it would be black and gold, or black and black, gold and gold, that combination. But they went away from the solid and pinstripe combo after 78. And he mentioned, Steve, that the Pirates started putting names on the back of their uniforms in 1979. That it started then.
I would not have guessed that. It's funny. I don't remember whether we had names on the back of ours or not, but I guess we didn't.
No, and I remember seeing any footage of you. Of course, you never had unis in the back. Any footage I've seen.
Yeah. Just you see them and you assume they've been there forever, and it's not the case.
Interesting bit of trivia.
Timmy D has.
Oh, he's got it locked. And as he mentioned too, the Pirates for 1 year went away from it, like in the, I want to say late 80s, early 90s, and there was an uproar. So that lasted just 1 year, and the strikeout of Lastings Millage means the Pirates go down in order for the first time tonight. 12-2 Buccos. Beautiful look at the city and this line score. Pirates leading at 12-2 over the Reds. Well, the Pirates swept the Reds in 1979 in the National League Championship Series to get to the World Series. And they'll try to sweep Cincy with a win tomorrow, and Denny Batista comes on to try to finish it off.
DeMatre goes an inning, giving up just a hit, recording a strikeout. Zach Duke, the front seven. Very much a quality start.
Ed Ott and Bert Blyleven talking about the old days.
Eddie Ott still looks tough.
Yeah, he does. Pitcher Blyleven, catcher Ott. Denny Batista.
95 miles an hour. Good to see that from Denny.
Batista making his first appearance this season, facing Craig Tatum, who comes to the plate for the first time. Denny Batista was removed from the 40-man roster and re-signed with the Pirates to a minor league deal over the winter. Made 35 appearances last year for Pittsburgh, a 6.10 ERA, and broken bat. Comebacker to Batista.
That is called really getting sawed off.
Yep.
Literally, figuratively. Denny Batista had time to flinch and still recover and get that ball.
Oh man,
that is
good luck.
That's in your kitchen.
That is getting sawed off and then
way
some.
In your kitchen. That's in the pantry.
One down. The batter, Paul Janisch. Now, is there part of you, when you are slated to start tomorrow, you're on that bench watching this game, is there any part of you that says to yourself, oh, it's nice to score this many runs, but doggone it, save some for me for tomorrow?
You might say it, but you don't mean it, because you know it's just what things are. It would be nice. One of our early keys, get some offensive support for Zach Duke.
Sure did that. Line drive foul.
Yep, and then the other involved the matchup of Zach Duke against Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips. At one point they were combined 3 for 6. But that's the item tonight.
And Batista gets Janisch to pop the ball up. Gilbert makes the play.
Everybody stand up. This could be as easy as 1, 2, 3. So far we got the 1, we got the 2.
Lance Nix will bat for Jared Burton. One out away from 5 in a row. There's strike one. And the count 1-1 now on Lance Nix. Popped out of play. Zach Duke will match his career high in wins, won 10 games in 2006.
Oh, the collective groan by over 32,000. Almost.
Two. And Batista on to first. Raise the Jolly Roger. Again, the Bucks have won 5 in a row.
Yeah, kind of a fun night at the ballpark. It started with a lot of fun with the 79 guys, and the 2009 guys had some fun. And so did over 32,000 fans here.